Okay, guides are hard and takes time. To not run out of it on this especially long topic, it helps to work with as much time as possible. So, let us keep the intro short, so let's hop into it. But before that, I have something I need to say. Wherever my views on the last video came from, let me say I love you. Hopefully, I get some traction in the lore community.
Ain't nothing for me, do it all the time. Yeah, they barely working while I'm working overtime. Last year they like, who am I? Now this year they like, you the guy. Here's a little something for your car rides. If they set up for love, they all lied. Yeah, you know the logo, better recognize.
So some distinctions are needed, or else some of these things would be too convoluted. Actual things that are needed to be covered may be mixed up. I spent 30 minutes doing a spreadsheet during Zoom, also figured out music. But now let's get through the easiest one. In game terms and in card terms. I want to explain in card terms because every video will use these terms. This game is pretty technical, but right now I'll have to do the in-card text. It does need to be broken down a bit more though. Spells are pretty easy, so there are only 3 types of them, called spell speed, broken down into 3 types: slow, fast, and burst. There are some restrictions to these effects, and they are pretty important. Slow, you cannot activate 2 of these at the same time. It takes up your entire action, so it's a huge investment, and it goes on the stack. Hopefully I get to stacks later on. Fast, you cannot activate this the turn you play a unit. You can play multiples of fast speed spells, but they go onto the stack. If this is the first card you play, it takes up your entire action. Burst, these can be played before you play a unit, but not after. You can play multiple burst speed spells. They do not go onto the stack.
To the town of our Friel rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business.
Alright, here we go, and it's a massive chunk of my time. Not gonna lie, units are about 1.5 pages without interactions. Champions, you are limited to 6 of these cards in a deck. They have a condition that allows them to level up / flip. You can only have 1 of these cards on field. The other copy of the card creates a spell specific to that champion, which is also in the game, and that spell shuffles the champion you own into the deck. You can also bypass the 1 champion rule with cards like Rekindler, Mist Call, the Harrowing, and Spectral Matron. Followers, you are not limited by the number of cards you can have, but any less than 10 you are most likely trolling. You can have any amount of these cards on the field at any one time. Allies, these refer to only units you control and not your opponent, which makes it important on card text. Enets refers to both champions and followers. It is especially important. All of these terms have meaning, I promise, on my girlfriend's tits. They have extremely specific interactions, and text is always important. So, reading cards you don't understand is important. Now it's time for landmarks, which is simple to explain. These bad boys can be played with unit mana, have passive effects, and takes up a unit space. However, they have no health or attack, they can't block or attack, and aren't affected by most cards, unless of course it's stated. Did that bore you? Because that it actually requires so many terms to have it make sense. Got that? No, fine, here's a kitten for your troubles. Okay, so I'm ending here. I know you content gremlins wanted to see more, and it did not have the same amount of jokes as the last one, but I'll get more efficient. I realized I wouldn't have enough time if I kept editing, and this vid would take a month to make, because YouTube isn't my life, and I'm sorry, but my mother is half Asian, half black. So I have my next 3 videos laid out, and I'm gonna start talking about what are in cards, funny interactions, and archetypes. So sub to me, I'll be working my hardest to get these out.